Grocery giant Kroger is challenging a Federal Trade Commission decision that's blocking the company from merging with rival grocer Albertsons. Kroger filed a lawsuit on Monday, claiming the agency's administrative proceedings are unconstitutional. Kroger announced plans to buy Albertsons back in 2022 for some $24.6 billion, merging the two largest grocery store chains in the U.S. Joining us for more is Boston University law professor Keith Hylton. Professor, thank you for being here. Why is the FTC blocking Kroger's merger to begin with Albertsons?
The FTC's theory is that the merger will lead to inordinate degree of power, pricing power, and also power over workers, and in other words, able to reduce their wages below what they would get in a competitive market. So those are the two theories behind the FTC's attempt to block the merger. One is harm to consumers. The other is harm to workers.
Yeah, sort of Econ 101, removing the competition. What is Kroger arguing now? And how are two Supreme Court decisions from over the summer at play here?
Well, okay, so there are two questions. Kroger's argument about the merger in general has been that the merger will not hurt consumers and that the merger will not hurt workers at all. So their theory is the merger is efficiency enhancing, will lower their costs and benefit consumers as a result. So that's the first argument. The second argument concerns the constitutionality of the FTC's enforcement structure. And I think Kroger has relied on, or at least I've heard they've relied largely on two arguments. One is the Supreme Court decision saying that the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, in order to impose penalties, has to go through a jury trial. That's one case they're relying on. So they're trying to map that case onto their current issue. And the other case is dealing with the appointment of the FTC, ALJ, administrative law judges, and other figures within the FTC, and the claim that those appointments violate the Constitution. So those are two constitutional bases for Kroger's attack on the FTC. On the other hand, those two are just two of many constitutional arguments that parties have raised recently. And I suppose if Kroger wanted to be creative about it, they could find even more constitutional attacks to bring it against the FTC.
Professor, I got less than a minute with you, but what should shoppers know about this? I mean, how would they be impacted if Kroger is successful or if it isn't?
I'm not sure what kind of impact to expect. I mean, part of the FTC's argument in bringing this claim is that prices have gone up, a great deal in the grocery markets over the past few years. And the theory is that this merger will simply add on to that price surge. But if the price surge is largely due to general inflation, my impression is due to general inflation and not due to what the grocery stores are doing. I'm not sure that, this merger will have much of an impact on that. But anyway, that's part of the theory. Part of the theory is that this is just one thing that's going to hurt consumers more. And Kroger's argument is that, no, it's not going to hurt consumers at all. It will benefit consumers.
Hylton, thanks so much.